For months, Alberta oil workers have been calling on the federal government for help with its failing sector. Now, the government has answered in the form of a $1.6 billion aid package, but many employees say they are not happy. Joining us this morning is an Alberta oil worker, Bernard Hancock. Bernard, thank you so much for being here.
Hey, thanks, Ben. I appreciate you having me on.
So we talked to you 2 years ago when you were petitioning on behalf of oil workers for the government to do more for Canada's oil industry. So why are you not happy with this funding?
Well, you know, this isn't something that we've asked for from the federal government. This is over $1 billion that's going to clean energy redevelopment. It's going to commercial banking. But what Alberta's asking the government, actually, is to get out of the way. And it seems like this is more of a political move than anything to me. What we're really asking for is the government to kill Bill C-69 and Bill C-48. Because those two bills combined, C-48 is the West Coast tanker ban, C-69 is going to make the NEB review process more onerous and more uncertain. That's what we're asking for. We don't need to be bought off with our own money. Thank you, Mr. Trudeau.
So what do you think would happen with this funding announcement, this $1.6 billion? Where would it go? Who would it help?
I don't care. I'm done listening to Mr. Trudeau, and I'm not buying this. This is purely political. Just as buying the Trans Mountain Pipeline was political. Kill Bill C-69, kill Bill C-48. That's it. Those two bills combined spell the end of the Canadian energy industry. Mr. Trudeau knows this, and he's trying to pull one over on Canadians. I hope people in Toronto realize the severity of this issue and what this portends for our Confederation.
Well, let's talk about what's going on in Alberta right now. The Premier, Rachel Notley, is making a major cut to oil production to help increase prices. Now, as a worker in those fields, what's your take on that move?
Yeah, when has supply management ever worked, Ben? And it's funny, but it's guys like me who work in the field that have to make the sacrifice again to protect the corporate side of the industry. I think working class people like me who've seen 40, 50% drops to their income, we should be the last people having to make the sacrifice. But again, we're always the one who have to do that. So, you know, I think it's a measure that had to be done, but it's a shame because it's indicative of a bigger problem. And all it is a Band-Aid because we can't get our product to market. And we're not a place where people want to invest. Enbridge, they spent $1 billion to go with Northern Gateway and try and get that project built, and it got approved. And Trudeau, for political consideration, just kills it. What does that say to an international company that they're going to spend $1 billion in Canada and Mr. Trudeau's going to flush that down the drain just for his politics? That's, yeah, people don't want to do business in Canada, Ben, well, and I don't blame them.
Bernard, listen, thank you so much for being here today and sharing your thoughts. We know that things are tough out west, and we wish you and your family, your colleagues and your friends all the very best this holiday season. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks, Ben. You too.